And typically it's very important, it deals with very important things.
Joining Scheider on the sub are a scientist and a soldier that don't exactly see eye to eye.
There's this little controversy between the military and the scientific. We all know, everybody knows that the military side is much more valuable. We need the military. Without military, we would have no science.
Impossible.
I mean, intuitively obvious.
May I remind you that you are aboard a military vessel, and your orders...
Orders? I do not take orders.
At 8:30 on Fox, Living Single examines the lives of a quartet of contemporary women played by Kim Fields, Kim Coles, Erica Alexander, and Queen Latifah.
Damn, he fine.
Although it's written from a woman's point of view, male viewers will want to tune in as well.
The men may tune in just to check us out, just to make sure that we're not dissing them. Let's go tune in and see what these 4 chicks got to say about us. Come on.
So maybe they might tune in just to see our little bods, and then the days that they don't tune in to see our bods, they'll be tuning in to see what they're talking about. Are they talking about us, and what do they think about men?
If you are a man or a woman at any age level, you're going to laugh your butt off.
It's a good bet that Queen Latifah will do more than just act.
They ain't gonna get Queen Latifah on the TV show and not let her romp. It's not gonna happen. I'm gonna start rapping.
At 9:30, Fox kicks off the new series Daddy Dearest, starring the acid-tongued Don Rickles and the ever-neurotic Richard Lewis as his psychiatrist son.
It's an educational show. People will watch this show and learn and say, gee, my father's like that, my brother's like that. My brother in the show takes no responsibility for me having to live with my father.
Mind your own business, Aladdin, huh? By the way, 7-Eleven called, and your camels are blocking the aisles.
Rickles never worries if his character might offend in the politically correct 90s.
I say funny is funny. That's my best answer. I'm not a guy that sits around and discusses, they say this ethnic group, that ethnic group. Sure, there's going to be some people that say, I don't like it. Then watch a movie. I don't suggest they do that. I hope they will understand. If you laugh at yourself, it's funny.
Let's take a look at the Sunday schedule. CBS maintains the lineup that has kept them at the top of the ratings for years. At 7 o'clock, 60 Minutes is up against Eyewitness Video on NBC, Townsend Television on Fox, and from ABC, America's Videos, followed by America's People. At 8, the action shows on NBC and ABC try to upset ratings champ Murder, She Wrote over on CBS, while Fox offers comedy with Martin, followed by Living Single. Rounding out the night, Fox continues its run of sitcoms with Married with Children at 9 and Daddy Dearest at 9:30. From 9 to 11, the movies roll out on CBS, NBC, and ABC.
Don't go away. Don't come back. There's a history of angina in my family, because when you come back, I'm going to tell you all about my new show with Mr. Don, guess who, Rickles.
The Howard Stern Show has grown like a fungus across America.
Welcome back to E's Guide to Fall TV. I'm Michael Kastner. It seems that just about every new sitcom has a comedian in the lead. But what happens when 2 stand-ups have to share the spotlight? Hopefully it means big ratings. At least that's what Fox had in mind when they paired up comic powerhouses Richard Lewis and Don Rickles in Daddy Dearest.
Dad, I am in the middle of a session. What? You mean you're not waiting for Jack Nicholson and the big tall Indian?
It's a battle of wits, both on camera and off.
No, I'm not. No, that means I'm listening. We're listening to you. You don't think I'm listening to what you're saying.
I can't take much more from you. Well, naturally, I give him a couple of what I call short grenade shots, just so he knows who's the boss.
He does taught me a lot. I get a lot of pressure from that. A lot of chest pain, Rickles chest pains. Really, my heart now is in the shape of his bald head.
He's a genius. He told you that, didn't he? That's his whole life, being a genius.
Don, just do it. Forget what I said. I was wrong.
Here we go.
What?
Just do it. I was wrong, okay? King of comedy, I was wrong.
You and I know he's not a genius, but you got to be nice.
So let's get a run at it, and we'll start with Angie's line, right, sending Fudo.
It's rehearse. We get mocked. Rehearse for a minute. Mocked for an hour. Rehearse for a couple of seconds. Another mock.
The one on the iron lung looks kind of promising. She's already lying down.
It's that edge.
Huh? It's that edge. My biggest claim to fame on this show is me standing around going, Arrgh. They call me Jurassic Park already. So I do a lot of
Arrgh. No, that's what he does all the time. I dream of that. Every character, even in the greatest dreams, I have sexual dreams. The woman will turn around in bed and go, yeah, sure, surely, I'm really going to make love to you. I idolize a guy, and if I didn't say that, I wouldn't start my car. So everything I say nice about Don is a lie. I idolize him, he's a genius. I think so sometimes. You still here?
Yeah.
I idolize him and he's a genius. If he leaves, he pushes my
get
buttons.
a hot bath. Come on, Richard, get a hot bath.
Take care of hot bath. I love that I idolize the guy.
Sure he does, sure he does. Come on, we'll get you back in the room, you'll be okay. Turn off the camera. We don't need you people anymore.
Only one new comedy shows up on Monday nights, but some old favorites are sure to keep you laughing. Evening Shade comes back to CBS at 8, but can this season's storyline top last year's Frolic in the Woods?
Get out in the middle, a little step. Get in the middle of the road.
But this fall, it's the women's turn to reveal all.
I'll tell you a scoop. What we're going to do is we're going to have stripper costumes on. So that should be a lot of fun anyway. I just said, let me know when we're doing it because I want to make sure my thighs peak on Friday night.
Following at 8:30 is Dave's World, starring former Night Court Judge Harry Anderson as a baby boomer who can't cope with life in the 90s.
Oh boy, is that really Dave? Is it really morning again? Is he really going to take me for a walk for the billionth time? Oh.
Dave's World's competition is the veteran NBC show Blossom, back for its 4th season.
Spring break is coming up. Your mother wants you to visit. That's a plane ticket.
The whole gang goes to Paris for a visit with Mama Manchester.
Filming in Paris was really a bizarre experience.
And fattening.
Very fast. It was fattening, a lot of sauces in the meat.
Consistent ratings have reaffirmed the cast beliefs in the quality of their show.
We were always really confident that what we were doing was a good show, but there's no way to tell what television audiences are going to like.
At 9:30, CBS's Love and War is back. Annie Potts replaces Susan Day as Jay Thomas's new love interest.
She's born and bred in New York, Lower Manhattan. Her father has been a rather well-known avant painter, and she sort of grew up in that avant Lower Manhattan kind of life. She's been all over the world.
It hasn't been difficult switching from a designing woman to a master chef.
It's like getting into another pair of clothes. You know, if you've been wearing the same thing too long, you know, you open that closet and all of a sudden that doesn't seem so appealing anymore, and you put something else on and all of a sudden you feel pretty good.
Here's an overview of what you can expect on Monday night. Fresh Prince returns at 8 on NBC, as does Evening Shade on CBS. ABC debuts its new show Day One, and Fox goes to the movies. NBC locks down 8:30 with ratings champ Blossom, and challenging is CBS's only new show on Mondays, Dave's World. 9 o'clock sees the return of powerhouse Murphy Brown on CBS. NBC has a movie, and since 1970, Monday Night Football has brought the game to ABC. 9:30 sees the return of Love and War, and at 10, Northern Exposure is back on CBS. Coming up, we'll go over the rules of the ratings game. We'll continue our rundown of the new shows, and we'll talk to Jay, Chevy, and Conan about late night. Don't go away.
The Tonight Show's for people on the way up, on the way down, or already there.
When the Michael Jackson allegations erupted,
welcome back to E's Guide to Fall TV. I'm Michael Kastner. You know, the number one rule of ratings is survival of the fittest. Doesn't matter how good a show is if nobody's watching. But exactly what is a good rating? And who are these Nielsen's anyway? They are the 4,000 families chosen to represent the viewing habits of over 90 million other homes. And they determine the ratings. But what is a rating and a share?
Share refers to the percent of homes that have their sets turned on who are watching an individual channel or an individual program. So, just
Sinbad and Living Single.
Yes, well, we'd love to stay, but boring conversation isn't on our schedule.
They also have a few hints as to what show was voted least likely to succeed.
First cancellation of the season is probably going to be on Saturday night. So I would look to Saturday night, and I would not look to CBS, and I would not look to Fox.
That leaves these 5 shows on the endangered list. The ratings will determine who survives because these guys aren't playing for peanuts.
20 million here, 20 million there. Pretty soon you're talking about serious money.
This fall, Nielsen families will have 10 sitcoms to choose from on Tuesday night, and let me tell you, it's not going to be an easy choice. NBC starts off tonight's lineup of funny family programming at 8 with Saved by the Bell. The gang finds life in primetime very different than their former slot on Saturday morning.
What have you got in there, a bowling ball?
There was a lot of pressure. I felt it. Because on Saturday morning, we did whatever we wanted. I was like, we're the only one on Saturday morning. Who do we have to compete with? G.I. Joe.
Can I be a great player and a normal person?
Of course not.
At 8:30, Judith Light copes with a daughter, divorce, and tennis, among other things, on the ABC sitcom Phenom.
I am a single mom, divorced, very little money, three children, 2 other children, older son, younger daughter, and we have a sort of wacky coach who comes into our life, who's played by William Devane, and he wants to take my daughter to his tennis school and teach her to be one of the greatest tennis phenoms in the country, if not the world.
Also at 8:30 is the police buddy sitcom Bakersfield PD on Fox. These tough guys say they'll do just about anything to get ratings.
Male frontal nudity. 3rd episode. Be there. Right after Rock.
At 9, former night court lawyer John Larroquette gets his own self-titled show on NBC. It centers around a recovering alcoholic managing a bus station.
What do we need a gun for?
Following Larroquette at 9:30 is midlife comedy from John Mendoza. The second half gives a new twist to a familiar subject.
Well, I'm the Mary Tyler Moore of the 90s. A little heavier and not as cute, and I don't throw my head up in the air.
How's your work, John?
I'd ask if I wanted to know.
10 o'clock is definitely grown-up hour. The debut of NYPD Blue was delayed for a year because ABC and producer Stephen Bochco couldn't come to terms over the adult content. Bochco doesn't believe the controversy will hurt in the long run.
I think once the show goes on, the vast majority of viewers are going to say, what's the big deal? Am I unhappy about the attention? No. I mean, there are something like 38 or 39 new shows coming on in the fall, and a lot of people know who we are. So I suppose to that extent, it's been good for us.
Summing up Tuesday night, in the 8 o'clock hour, CBS's Rescue 911 competes with a herd of sitcoms, including Saved by the Bell on NBC, Full House on ABC, and Rock on Fox. The stampede continues at 8:30 with NBC's Getting By, ABC's Phenom, and Fox's Bakersfield PD. At 9, the challenge is to dethrone ratings queen Roseanne on ABC. The alternatives are a movie on CBS, America's Most Wanted on Fox, or NBC's John Larroquette Show. At 9:30, ABC's Coach and NBC's Second Half go head-to-head. There are 2 hour-long shows at 10, News Magazine Dateline on NBC and ABC's NYPD Blue. Stay tuned for a rundown of the rest of the week. We'll have a chat with the men of late night, and we'll take you behind the scenes on a set that feels just like home.
Clint, Vince, Rita, Garth, Mark, Pam, Alan, Winona, George, Trish. He's got them all, and he goes country. It's a 1-hour look from Nashville at all your favorite country stars as they...
Welcome back to E's Guide to Fall TV. I'm Michael Kastner, standing in front of one of the houses for the TV series Sisters here on the Warner Brothers lot. Well, you know, we are halfway through the week, and Wednesday has lots of promise, something for everybody, romance, drama, and big surprise, more sitcoms. The middle of the week is a battle of laughs as 5 new sitcoms debut. ABC heads up the night at 8 with its single-parent show, Thea.
Jerome, now you know with all you children, I'm a human lie detector. And right now, your needle is zigzagging all over my body.
Thea had no complaints when she found out about her time slot.
I was in shock. I was like, but I still have to say this is the best Mother's Day gift I ever got in my life.
Thea's competition at 8 is CBS's new entry, The Trouble with Larry. The title resembles the lead.
I'm the trouble, and I'm also Larry. And the reason he's trouble is that he's an ebullient, annoying character, much like myself.
When it comes to ratings, Pinchot has his own philosophy.
All the really big hits are against the odds anyway. I mean, Seinfeld was like this thing they tried to stuff in the summer, and Cosby was this thing that they, thought was never going to make. I mean, it's just whatever. I just never worry about ratings. It's stupid. I just worry about being good if I can. And then if people tune in, they do. And if they don't, it shows up as a trivia question on Jeopardy in 1999.
2 family sitcoms roll out at 8:30. On ABC, Joe's Life goes against CBS's The Nanny.
Maybe there was something in this where maybe we can do like a 90s spin on on The Sound of Music, only instead of Julie Andrews, I would come through the door.
When you have two completely different elements coming together, you get the most interesting kind of chemistry. It's like, how will this be resolved? And people go about relating to each other.
There has to be another agency.
Oh, please, I come from Flushing. There is nothing these kids can throw at me that I haven't seen before, except maybe their trust funds.
The chemistry continues on CBS at 9 with the cop drama The South of Sunset.
Stop him! Get him out of there! He's trying to kill her!
The cast got along great after they got to know each other.
He said, we got Glenn Fry. I said, oh, the Glenn Fry. And I said, John, who is Glenn Fry? You know, because I didn't know who Glenn Fry was. When Glenn was hot and had the long hair hanging to the heels, I was an embryo. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea who Glenn Fry was. You know, so we met, and then I learned about his background and the Eagles and everything. Actually, I thought when he said he was from the Eagles, I thought John got crazy and hired a linebacker for the part. I said, John, we can't go this route. But, you know,
as soon as you learn the lyrics to Desperado, you get the Laker tickets, too.
And you know what? Walking in Harlem singing Desperado lyrics wasn't too cool for me.
On Fox, the gang returns to Melrose Place, and the storylines are heating up.
Relationship, troubles, relationship, good things, people switching, people moving up, people moving on. I'm going to move in with Jake, and Heather plays Amanda. We all know and love her. She's going to try to get Jake.
There's some kind of relationship or something that's going to happen between my character Amanda and Jake. So that'll be very, very tough.
And they don't tell me anything. I don't have no idea, not a clue.
Maybe Show was clueless because he was surprised there was a second season.
I never expect any project to last longer than its initial 13-week order. Or a pilot. If I do a pilot, that's it. I expect that's it. It's done. And if they pick it up, that's a bonus.
Over on ABC at 9:30 is Grace Under Fire from the creators of Roseanne and The Cosby Show.
Just shoot me. Just go ahead. Waste me. Take me out, Smokey. Let's get it over with. This madness has to stop.
She's tough, but since it's prime time, she's not too tough. You know, she's not packing or anything like that. You know, don't call 911. I'll kill him.
At 10, ABC waltzes in with Moon over Miami.
Have some chocolate. I hate chocolate.
Nobody hates chocolate.
Well, I do.
The cast thinks they have the formula for a successful romantic comedy.
What's really interesting is what people want and how they try to change each other to get it.
It's really fun to watch, you know, because you can see what people are thinking, but what they're saying is a very different thing, and it makes it funny, you know, because you want these people to end up together, you know, so it's really fun.
Taking a look at Wednesday night, the battle of the sitcom starts at 8 with The Trouble with Larry on CBS and Thea on ABC. NBC has the reality-based Unsolved Mysteries, and 90210 is back on Fox. 8:30 sees the debut of two new shows, CBS's The Nanny and ABC's Joe's Life. Following at 9 on ABC is rating success Home Improvement. NBC counteracts with its new show, Now. Melrose Place stays put on Fox, and South of Sunset arrives on CBS. 10 o'clock sees few changes from last year. Law & Order on NBC and 48 Hours on CBS. ABC tries to overthrow both with its romantic comedy, Moon over Miami. Don't go away. We'll have more of what's coming up on Fall TV. Stay tuned.
We're going to be animated. We'll be the only show that's entirely animated.
Hold. Beautiful.
E presents Hollywood Kids, a whole hour on what it's like and what it takes to grow up in the biz.
Right now we're on the set of The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. You might notice it does happen to be a Western. This show, which everybody is buzzing about, makes its debut on Fox this fall. And I got to tell you, there is another big buzz going on in television right now. Speculation about what's going to be happening in the late night wars. Well, we've been talking with the participants themselves, Jay, Chevy, Conan, and they say there's no fighting at all. Watching late night used to be easy. Just tune into NBC for The Tonight Show and try and stay awake through Letterman. But then Johnny left and Jay got the job that Dave wanted, so Dave packed his bags and moved to CBS. And so began the late night wars.
We've been saving the funny stuff.
But wait, what about Chevy Chase? Where does he fit into all of this?
I don't know how he got his own show. He ain't very funny, but I get...
He's the wild card in the three-way talk show race at 11:30. And let's not forget the new guy following The Tonight Show, Conan O'Brien.
There are definitely moments where I think, what the hell has happened? What have I done?
Although they're all talk shows, no two will look the same.
We're going to be animated. We'll be the only show that's entirely animated. It's going to be tough, but we're going to do it.
Like the first 6 weeks of shows, I will not be funny. We've worked that out. I will be very sober and intense and brooding.
Branford always liked to come up with a new theme song every year, so I think he's got that done. And we have a new opening and a new desk and a new backdrop.
Then there's the problem of guests. There's a limited supply and a lot of time to fill.
3,000 guests a year? Okay, you got Harrison Ford, Stallone, Richard Gere. No. All right, that gets you to Thursday.
My dream guest list? Oh, Hitler, Elvis, and Perot.
I want to get Daniel Patrick Moynihan on the show. It's going to be really hip.
With all the hype, it's easy to forget that the war is between the networks, not the hosts. None of it is personal.
David Letterman will actually be a cool guy to have as a guest at one point, and he's been gracious enough to say he'd like to do that.
Well, Letterman scored a win on the first night, but the ratings war won't be over until the end of the season.
Well, as you might have noticed, the Old West isn't dead yet. This is the car that Warner Brothers gave me to drive around the lot. No horse, however. There are 4 new Westerns riding into the fall lineup this season, right behind a whole herd of family-oriented shows.
On Thursday, the Chuckles begin at 8 p.m. with NBC's comedy Mad About You, starring Paul Reiser and Helen Hunt. The happy couple return for a second season on a new night and in a new time slot. Reiser thinks the show's lighthearted look at marriage is a slice of real life.
I think the biggest response that we get is that people say, oh, you must have been listening to, from our bedroom. You must have been hiding in the closets. We hopefully sound very realistic and talk about and go through issues and side issues that couples do in real life. And I think that's what appeals to people.
He's not just a regular wolf. He's a brown wolf. As a matter of fact, he's the James Brown Wolf, the hardest working wolf in show business.
At 8:30, Sinbad arrives on Fox. The stand-up comic self-titled show centers around a footloose bachelor who takes in 2 foster kids, and Sinbad's all too happy to follow the most animated family in America.
The reason we went with Fox, they said they would put us behind The Simpsons if we decided to do a show with them. This was before we even had the concept for the show. So it was great for us to come into this kind of time slot. Now you hope you can do it right. Because you go in, you don't want to step into a good slot like this and not do well.
Speaking of great time slots, NBC's Seinfeld slides onto the bar stool left vacant by Thursday night's most successful comedy, Cheers.
And we have to do it. It's part of our lifestyle.
That gives Cheers alumni Kelsey Grammer a great lead-in for his spin-off, Frasier, which airs at 9:30.
You expect me to give up my study, the place where I read, where I do my most profound thinking? I use the can like the rest of the world.
The highbrow psychiatrist leaves Boston for Seattle to do a radio advice show. Grammer thinks Frasier may help fans survive the departure of their beloved barflies.
Frasier is like the methadone clinic for Cheers addicts. There's a little bit of anticipation and excitement about, oh, well, we always kind of liked him. Even if Frasier wasn't their favorite character, they'll reflect on it and go, geez, I can see it. There seems to be some genuine excitement about what's going to happen to Frasier.
But it's not all laughs. NBC's L.A. Law has its 8th season in court at 10. The attorneys go head-to-head with CBS's new primetime soap, Angel Falls.
Go away.
It's very real. I mean, this is a very real show about people's real feelings and real passion. It's about passionate people, and that's what I like about it. There's no artifice in this show at all, I don't think.
Now here's an overview of what's on Thursdays. There are 3 returning shows in the 8 o'clock slot: NBC's Mad About You, In the Heat of the Night on CBS, and The Simpsons on Fox. ABC offers a new show, the crime drama Missing Persons with Daniel J. Travanti. Wings flies to a new time at 8:30 on NBC and competes with Fox's new arrival, Sinbad. At 9, Seinfeld slips into the vacant Cheers spot. Fox's In Living Color returns, as does Eye to Eye with Connie Chung on CBS and Matlock on ABC. The Cheers spin-off Frasier airs at 9:30 on NBC, and Fox's Herman's Head returns on this new night and time. At 10 o'clock, the new nighttime soap Angel Falls airs on CBS, NBC's veteran drama L.A. Law returns, and Primetime Live continues on ABC. NBC will begin its Friday nights with their new Texas family drama called Against the Grain. John Terry plays a father of 3 who starts a new job as coach of a high school football team.
When you're alone with your buddies, you can call me anything you want. But out here, you call me Coach. You got that?
You're the boss.
Fox brings to life a new hero for the 90s. This new Jack Western promises a collaboration of comedy and the rowdy Wild Wild West as a bounty hunter searches for 12 outlaws who are wanted, dead or alive. Oscar winner Faye Dunaway comes to television with veteran small screener Robert Urich in a new CBS comedy called It Had to Be You.
Holy cow, you're a woman.
My, you must have the Learning Channel on all day long at your house.
Dunaway plays a hard-edged businesswoman who falls unexpectedly for Robert Urich, a carpenter and father of 3 who's working on her home. The pair collide from their 2 different worlds to build a new romance beginning at 8 p.m.
My character was referred to as a sarcastic socialite for a while. Well, she's not. She in fact is in a kind of a good family, but she's a poor southern aspect of it. She's not a southern woman, but she comes from down there. And she's a self-made woman.
Mr. Feeny, may I sit down?
I'd rather you didn't.
Hates me.
At 8:30 p.m. on ABC, Ben Savage, yes, the younger sibling to Wonder Years star Fred, is placed into his own show, Boy Meets World. Savage shows the audience the world through his eyes.
And the teacher lives next door, unfortunately. So he spends all day long with the teacher and then has to sometimes look across the fence, and there he is again.
Hi. CBS continues its tribute to family values at 8:30 p.m. with the comedy Family Album, starring Peter Scolari and Pamela Reed. The series follows the family as they move back to Philadelphia from California in order to let their children know their roots. Also at 9 p.m., Shelley Long comes back to television with her new comedy, Good Advice. The CBS show tells the tale of a marriage counselor in the midst of a high-profile divorce.
Aren't you the ad genius who stuffed flyers under my client's windshield wipers? Marriage in trouble, therapy not working, called Jack Harold?
You think I did that? I didn't do that. I paid kids to do that.
Continuing with Fox's new lineup is a series that has only one objective.
To get scared out of your pants. It's going to be really, really, really scary.
X-Files begins at 9 p.m. and stars David Duchovny as an FBI agent. His trusty sidekick Gillian Anderson comes along through a maze of extraterrestrial mystery investigations. Or are they?
You're saying that time disappeared. Time can't just disappear. It's a universal invariant.
What are you saying?
I'm saying this was no boating accident. And no heart attack either. This man was injected with poison.
Picket Fences finishes up our Friday lineup. The drama featuring Tom Skerritt and Kathy Baker will tackle some tough social issues this fall on CBS. To rehash our Friday night, let's begin with 8 p.m. On ABC, Family Matters returns for another season, and for the new shows, It Had to Be You on CBS, Against the Grain on NBC, and The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. on Fox. At 8:30, we have Boy Meets World on ABC and Family Album on CBS. Step by Step returns to a new 9 p.m. time slot, along with Good Advice on CBS, the Friday Night Mystery Movie on NBC, and X-Files on Fox. At 9:30, Hangin' with Mr. Cooper is back, and Bob with Bob Newhart on CBS. And finally, at 10 p.m., 2020 continues its run on ABC, and Picket Fences returns to CBS this fall. Coming up next, a couple of suburban moms wind up on television playing themselves.
White bread cul-de-sac comedy. That's where we explore our Webbers more than our sexuality.
When the Michael Jackson allegations erupted, he was there. When the Heidi Fleiss scandal rocked Hollywood, he was there. When Woody and Mia went to battle, he was there. When Jurassic Park ravaged the silver screen, he was there.
Welcome back to E's Guide to Fall TV. I'm Michael Kastner on the set of the new Fox series, The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. Well, folks, it is true. We have come to the last day of our viewing week. But for those who decide to stay home on Saturday nights, well, there is going to be plenty to choose from on the small screen. And, folks, you're going to be entertained. George Foreman makes his television debut on ABC at 8 p.m. with the self-titled series, George. The story revolves around an ex-boxer who joins his wife to help teach middle school kids and help guide them into the right path of achievement.
Well, this show is going to offer hope. You've heard a lot of people say that society is really dangerous. There's a lot of violence. And what's going to happen? Well, we hope to leave them with the feeling of, there's a lot of hope also.
Although he claims the greatest thing about doing the show is that the camera doesn't hit back, there is one better reason.
My wife thinks that I'm going to stop boxing.
Hi, Marilyn. Do you have any children's Tylenol? Dan has a little fever. Sure, it's upstairs. I'll get it. Oh, no rush. I'm not going to give it to him till after dinner. They're so good when they're sick.
NBC brings the story of The Mommies to the screen at 8 p.m., starring Marilyn Kentz and Carol Christensen. These real-life moms didn't find portraying this family story to be a stretch.
We're neighbors with an attitude, and we are that in real life, and it's just taking a piece of our life and putting it on television so women can feel that they're not alone.
Valerie Bertinelli is back with an all-new sitcom on NBC. This time, the veteran actress stars in a comedy about a woman who settled in France after her divorce and begins life again as a waitress in a small cafe.
So, you know in town? Yes, I... Well, you're in Paris now. Got 2 words advice. Go shopping.
At 9 p.m., CBS has brought together the accomplished actor team of Lloyd and Beau Bridges for their new Western series, Hearts of the West.
The sheriff knows that I'm out here. I'm not Canadian. You David Hart?
Yes. So I'm doing this one with my dad, and I think that's going to be half the fun for me.
Could I get a diet soda with no ice?
Coming right up.
As the cast of Nurses loses actress Stephanie Hodge, Lonnie Anderson joins the crew this fall on NBC as the hospital's new administrator at 9:30 Pacific.
I said I didn't want to just be some nice, sweet, boring, lovely, leading lady kind of person. I just wanted to be somebody a little left of center, and that's what this woman is. She's not very nice, really.
Saturday night begins once again in our 8 p.m. slots with George on ABC. Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman returns for its second season on CBS. Mommies on NBC, and the ever-popular Cops on Fox. At 8:30, Where I Live returns to ABC. Bertinelli's Cafe Americain on NBC. And Cops 2 continues on Fox. The Paula Poundstone Show, starring the stand-up comedian herself, comes to ABC at 9 p.m. Hearts of the West with the Bridges on CBS. Empty Nest returns to NBC, and Front Page on Fox. At 9:30, Nurses with Lonnie Anderson begins on NBC. And at 10 o'clock, The Commish comes in for another season on ABC. Walker, Texas Ranger on CBS, and Sisters returns for its 5th season on NBC. In the middle of Saturday night's family programming are 2 people who are experts on suburban angst.
And to hell with the natural experience. Last time I went 8 hours before I grabbed that doctor and screamed, I'll take any drug you give me.
The Mommies, Carol Christensen and Marilyn Kentz, were next-door neighbors and best friends long before moving into prime time. The 2 housewives-turned-actresses invited us on a tour of their new home.
Oh,
We're eating.
This is which is what we always do. Yeah, this is a place where the mommies eat a lot. Why don't you come with us? We're going to go for a whole set of the mommies' home.
Though this is
Away
the
from
hub.
home.
This is the hub.
The hub.
The hubba hubba.
It's a doctor's office. This is where I will be actually bearing down on this bed right here and giving birth to a child someday, depending on the ratings. We don't know when that'll happen.
Keep going. That's fine. I won't bear down.
Marilyn, actually, when she bears down, she groans a lot.
Yeah.
Yells for things. Oh, what's this?
This is my bedroom, but just like in my real home, we never use the bed.
We don't want sex more than once a month.
No, not us.
Okay. This is my living room. Actually, very realistic looking because the children's toys are always out. Otherwise,
It's very color coordinated. That's how women in the suburbs behave. They color coordinate things. Their earrings match their socks, which matches their little handbag. And we are that.
No, don't you
That's
think
what you
there's
know.
no faux finishing going on?
Yeah, see, they should sponge the walls. Women of the suburbs, we know how to sponge. We sponge the walls, the sink, use them for birth control. Hey, we know our sponges.
But they're not always reliable.
No. Okay, so now,
Okay. My kitchen.
Carol's
This is my kitchen.
it's a lovely push.
Our actual kids did these drawings. Aren't they beautiful? They're gifted.
Her kids may be gifted. I can't say
Sink
the
and
same.
stove are clean because we don't cook. Dinner at our house, anything you can peel back, poke a hole, or nuke in the
Wait a
microwave.
minute, look. Here's Carol.
Oh, geez.
Truly Carol. I took this picture of Carol with baby Eric. Doesn't she look like her sister Marilyn?
I had milk in my breast, so I was having a baby.
Okay. This is my kitchen. See how you go right through from her kitchen to my kitchen? We did that in the neighborhood as well. And so, and this is what we're all about.
White bread.
White bread cul-de-sac.
Comedy. That's
Where we explore our Webbers more than our sexuality. There you have it. Okay.
It's no wonder
Oh, God. Oh, I can't stand it. Oh, I want to point out something. This is a true picture of us 10 years ago when we first met before we ever knew we were funny.
Notice how thin we were. We've been having so much fun together eating.
You were thin.
Bummer.
Bummer. And so, and just like my own house, there's a bike right in the middle of the living room. No difference, huh?
There you have it. Life on the cul-de-sac.
Saturdays, 8, NBC.
Don't go away. We'll have more of what's coming up on Fall TV. Stay tuned.
Clint, Vince, Reba, Garth, Mark, Pam, Alan, Winona, George, Trish. He's got them all in E Goes Country. It's a 1-hour look from Nashville at all your favorite country stars as they polish up their boots for the 1993 Country Music Awards. We've got the nominees, interviews, and of course, the music. It's E Goes Country, your complete...
Well, besides all the regular network programming, there's lots of other stuff to check out this fall. There's miniseries, made-for-TV movies, and, oh, let's not forget all the cool stuff on cable. Let's check out the highlights.
Safe? Yes. Efficacious? I'm sorry, I don't know that word.
Fox Night at the Movies parodies made-for-TV movies based on an untrue story. The original film airs on September 20th and stars Morgan Fairchild, Harvey Korman, and Robert Goulet.
Oh, dear God. It's worse than I thought. I'm going blind. I'm going blind.
Oh, shut up.
With so many cable channels devoting themselves to specific genres such as music, comedy, and entertainment, the networks are often more recognizable to viewers than the shows. However, many will be tuning in just to see the made-for-cable movies. TNT has several new movies coming up, including The Western Broken Chain and David Mamet's Life in the Theater with Jack Lemmon and Matthew Broderick.
Give me the pin. Come on, give me the pin. Oh, Christ, come on. You know, I think you're gaining weight.
HBO will be rolling out the most controversial cable movie of the year, And the Band Played On. Producer Aaron Spelling was determined to bring the film about the beginnings of the AIDS epidemic to the public.
Does not acknowledge that there is an epidemic because there is no evidence that it's a blood-borne disease.
They never called me and said, let's develop it. They called me and said, let's do it. It's the first time that I thought we were really going to get this movie done. It only took us 4.5 years to finally get it done.
Finally, you can expect to find plenty of high-quality informative programming on PBS with specials like The Great Depression. And if you missed I'll Fly Away when it was on NBC, you'll have a second chance to see it since all the old episodes and a new movie are coming to public television this fall.
Good night, sonny boy.
Well, that wraps up our guide to fall TV. Now remember, especially all you Nielsen families out there, if you want to know all the latest, turn to E, your entertainment news and information authority.